talk about fear and how fear oftentimes will hold us back from doing things that we really want to do in our hearts. Um, this is a workshop that is focused on coaches that are in their first 6 months and they want to launch a coaching business or consulting business, and fear is holding them back for whatever reason. YouTube is very interesting because I thought it wanted me to do the horizontal phone orientation and it was asking me to do the vertical, which is what Facebook usually asks me to do. But in any case, I think we're good. I think you hear me. We're going live and you can see me up on the screen, which is great. So Fear Forward, Do It Scared. That's the name of this talk that I'm doing live for you guys, to just hash out the many different ways that fear can show itself when you're starting a coaching business, in life in general, in your professional life, and what's helpful to sort of like move through it, to identify it so that you are not held powerless by it. So we all have fear. So as soon as you accept that, the sooner you can move through your fear. People are afraid of fear. They don't want to act because of the feeling of fear. And so that holds them back from doing what it is that they want. So entrepreneurship is a wonderful endeavor. I've said before, and I'll say again, I don't believe that entrepreneurs are made. I believe that they are born. I think that you can learn lots of skills in regard to entrepreneurship, but you either have that spirit in you, which is you want to be your own boss, you want to solve problems for people, you want to provide a high quality service. You might have a little bit of defiance in you, meaning you have a way of doing things that tends to work out. So you have a lot of confidence in your core, you have a lot of confidence in yourself. And entrepreneurs tend to really like freedom. So I'm Becky Longacre. I'm a nurse gone health coach, and at the end of last year, I started to help other coaches launch their own coaching business or move forward in their coaching business. I've been a nurse for now 18 years. I was a nurse for 17 years when I started my coaching business. And it's a whole long story, so I'll give you the synopsis of where I come from so you can get a little bit of understanding of who I am and what I do. In nursing, many of us are healthcare entrepreneurs. It gets kind of tiring to give people pills or to have someone do a surgery, when you know that if they just took better care of their body, if they learned how to take better care of themselves, they wouldn't need the pills, or they wouldn't need as many pills, or they wouldn't need the surgery, or they wouldn't need as much surgery. So, COVID was the impetus of change for me. It was the peak of burnout for me, where, I was working really long hours. I was working really irregular hours. And, I just started, in the back of my mind, I started entertaining the idea of I need to get away from the bedside. So I was on track in a master's program. I was going to be a nurse, a master's degree in nurse education, and COVID actually really shifted me away from that into health leadership. I also am a patient in our healthcare system, so I have a history of suffering with anxiety, chronic back pain all day, every day. I used to be almost 40 pounds heavier than I am now, and I used to suffer with ulcerative colitis. And with shifting my lifestyle, I have had victory over all of these things. What I teach clients is not rocket science, it's just focused self-care. And I operate out of a whole tool set in terms of what I offer clients in that realm of my business. Where the business coaching came from is as I was coaching people in their health and wellness, so like losing weight, reducing their blood pressure, and things like that, I was just learning about the core beliefs that a lot of my clients have. So you can have a core belief that I am not going to be successful. You can have a core belief that I am not lovable. You can have a whole lot of self-sabotaging core beliefs. And so what I worked with my clients, with the health coaching clients, is what are the barriers that are preventing them from moving forward in their health and wellness journey? And some of it, not all of it, but some of it is we have to look at the core beliefs that they're harboring. And so, and from the core beliefs, what are the problems that are happening? So if someone's having a hard time with boundaries, for example, why are they having a hard time with boundaries? Because they believe they cannot ask for what they want, because they believe that their love is conditional. So when you get really deep down into it, there's a reason for all human behavior, and that's what health coaching helps us do, is uncover the motivations behind our behavior so that we're more likely to achieve the results we say we want to achieve. So I started working with a lot of personal development. And then as I worked with people on their personal development, I noticed that their professional development started to happen. So they started to get more satisfaction out of their professional lives because we were working on their personal development. And so I just took that one step further. And now that I've been in business for almost 2 years now as a health coach, I've been a nurse leader for many years. So now I offer my services to other healthcare entrepreneurs to help get them started in their first 6 months. So I can't teach you, how to be a health coach after 10 to 15 years because I haven't achieved that yet, but I can teach you how to get started and how to get your first few clients. And a lot of it has to do with working on your core beliefs. A lot of it has to do with working on your mindset. A lot of it has to do with, are your actions supporting the goals that you say you have? And if they are, great, you're moving forward. If they're not, there's a reason why they're not. And so the coaching is about hashing that out. So we're going to talk about, the different fears that we have for starting a business, the ways that fear will show up. Fear has many different faces as a healthcare entrepreneur. And so we're going to just talk a little bit about that. So fear it's a normal human emotion. Everybody has fear. Successful people are the ones that acknowledge their fear and they take the action anyway. And after they take the action so many times, eventually the fear goes away. So right now, this year, I'm moving through a fear of public speaking because I have to do a lot more public speaking in order to increase the visibility of my business, increase credibility, to grow my client base. And so I have a fear of public speaking. The ironic thing is, I also really like to public speak. So it's a very interesting experience. I really like talking to an audience. I really like sharing my message and helping people and seeing people transform and getting hope. And I also do, like many of us, I have a fear of judgment. I have a fear of rejection. I do have imposter syndrome that I have to work through on a daily basis. So recently, my business was recognized as the best of 207. It's a competition in Maine. I come from Maine. I serve clients outside of Maine too, via Zoom, but I come from Maine and I'm located in Maine. And my health coaching business was recognized by the community as the best health coaching service in 207 in Maine in this particular competition. And I was like super excited. This is awesome. And then there's a part of me, the imposter syndrome, that is saying like, that's a load of crap. Or no one's going to believe it. That's a load of crap. No one's going to believe it. And so our minds sometimes do play tricks on us, especially if you have a history of uneven relationships, which I do, especially if you have a history of trauma, which I do. I have childhood trauma. And so sometimes you just have to overcome these barriers to accept your success, accept the blessings from the universe. And for me, it's a daily practice to accept the blessings that are coming my way from the universe. So fear of failure, many of us are afraid that our businesses are going to fail. It's just not going to work out. And so we don't even try to begin with. We don't even try the business because we're so afraid it's going to fail. I'm not even going to try it. If you have this fear, I would love for you to imagine yourself on your deathbed. And I would love for you to think about, is this something that you're going to regret in the end? Are you going to regret not starting the business? If your heart, if you can quiet yourself enough to listen to your heart, because that's another exercise, to just quiet yourself. If you can quiet yourself enough to listen to your heart, and in your heart, if you know you're going to regret it if you don't start this business, then you got to move forward. Start the business even though it makes you scared. Just take little steps. Rome wasn't built in a day, by the way. Little steps. Fear of rejection. So, and this is another one. This is kind of the public speaking thing that I'm going through, is I have a fear of rejection. And many of us do. So that comes up in sales calls, like when you're talking to somebody and you are trying to maybe overinflate yourself to make yourself look like super important so that they need to work with you because you're so scared that they're not going to say yes, that you sort of exaggerate things a little bit and you come across as desperate. You come across as too intense, and that turns people off. So fear of rejection. I'm going to put myself out there and nobody's going to want what I have to offer. We all have to go through this in entrepreneurship and in life, really. Fear of the unknown. So fear that I don't know how it's going to work out. I know that as a nurse, I was guaranteed a paycheck. As a business owner, I'm not guaranteed a paycheck. How is this going to work out? And so I'm just going to go through all the fears, and then I'm going to talk about like the techniques to get through some of these fears. Fear of an inadequacy. So that's similar to imposter syndrome, I guess I'll say. So fear of inadequacy, I need to get this certificate, I need to get that certificate, I need to do this training, I need to be perfect before I even start. And what I'll say is the enemy of progress is perfection. Just get started. Get started with how you're doing. Be quiet and figure out what it is that you truly have to offer. Get quiet and decide what it is that you can help people with, what you can help transform in their life. And then when you start to talk to the community, you talk to your warm market, you talk to your friends, you talk to your coworkers, you talk to your church members or network people, say with confidence what it is you can help people with. Don't push yourself onto people. Just offer with confidence how you can help people. So fear of inadequacy. Our journey is never done. We don't graduate from life. This is a continual learning process. So strategies to overcome fear. So embracing a growth mindset. So just recognizing that you are not perfect. You're never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. There are things that I can learn every single day. I'm not going to come from a place of perfection. I'm just going to come from a place of learning. I'm learning. And this is what I have learned, and this is what I have to offer. This is what I need to learn, and I need to be the student in this particular situation. Setting realistic goals is also helpful in overcoming fear. Growing at a reasonable rate. So many people open a business. In 3 months, they want to replace their income. In 3 months. And what I will say is when you're opening a business, especially a service business, like a coaching business, give yourself 3 years. Seriously. So I still work per diem as a nurse, partly because there's a certain lifestyle I don't want to let go of. But I still work per diem as a nurse. So I come from a place of abundance. So that if I don't get those 2 clients per month, I still have a way of paying my bills. I'm not stressed out over money. So setting realistic goals. And that is probably one of the biggest things that I see other entrepreneurs struggle with, is their goals of growth are disproportionate to the reality of the situation given their particular service. So if you're selling like boxes, like concrete things that people can hold in their hand, you will make more sales because there's something about our brains to understand that's a box, that's a concrete thing. I gave you money, you give me the box. When you're selling something that's more abstract, like improved self-esteem, anxiety management, weight loss, professional development, because it's more abstract, it requires more of a relationship to make the sale. It takes more time. So set realistic goals. Building a support network is enormous. So when I first was starting my business, I really had to, because I was so vulnerable, I really had to pay attention to who I surrounded myself with, truly. Because I really needed to be around people that were like, that's an awesome idea. You would be amazing. I really needed to have the cheerleaders because I felt so raw and vulnerable. Because it's hard to step out of the nurse mindset, the nurse employee mindset, and into I am a business owner mindset. So I really had to surround myself with people that were going to be positive about it. That's not to say that you surround yourself with people that are going to say you're doing an awesome job even when you're screwing yourself over. So you want to surround yourself also with people that are going to move you forward. Like, I thought you said you wanted to start a business. You need to get yourself more visible, for example. So you want people that love you and also want to push you forward. Those people are worth their weight in gold. They're really helpful to have around. Practicing resilience. So many things are going to happen that don't go according to plan. For example, I've had workshops where people don't show up to the workshop, or I get like one person to show up as opposed to 7, to show up to the workshop. So the best case scenario is you do the presentation, you give your information, and you learn from it. That's all you can do, is learn from it. When you have that growth mindset, it makes you more resilient, because when you have that growth mindset, you're not coming from a place of perfection. So mindfulness and stress management. Many entrepreneurs, including myself, have a hard time with turning the business off. And so I have a spiritual practice. I'm not religious, but I have a spiritual practice or I talk to my higher power, the universe, and I just ask them, him, her, whatever it is, I ask them to help me be mindful, like help me be in the moment right now. I'm with my husband right now. Help me to stay in the moment with my husband. Help me to stay in the moment with my son. Because we do, as entrepreneurs, we tend to be kind of obsessive. We can be a little obsessive, and we can work from dawn till dusk. We can work ourselves to death. Healthcare entrepreneurs, nurse entrepreneurs, there's more than one type of burnout. You can burn out as a nurse, you can burn out as an entrepreneur, business owner too. And so it's really important to take care of yourself. Being a health coach is helpful because I can't tell my clients to take care of themselves without practicing what I preach. So I have to take care of myself in order to be a better role model for my clients. So stress management and self-care, very helpful. Continuous learning and adaptation. So again, going back to the growth mindset where I don't know everything on the planet yet. So I am going to continually learn. I am going to continually get better. I am going to continually surround myself with people that make me want to step up. Surround myself with people that maybe are a little bit better than me in this particular area, so that I want to step up. I want to step up. I want to grow. What am I going to do? How am I going to invest in myself so that I'm more likely to get there? So for me, on my back wall, this is my imposter syndrome, by the way. I need to demonstrate to you that I have the certification, the education to talk to you. So I have the bachelor's degree in nursing. I have the master's degree in health leadership. I have nationally recognized certification in healthcare quality, and I'm a weight loss specialist. And very soon I'm going to have, on that corner right there, I'm going to have an award demonstrating that I'm the best health coach. According to this competition, I won the best health coach in Maine competition. But continuous learning, continuous improvement and adaptation and evolution. So I'm going to read you a case study. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, faced numerous rejections and setbacks before her innovative shapewear company became a global success. Her resilience, belief in her product, and willingness to learn from failures played a crucial role in overcoming fear and achieving her entrepreneurial goals. Example 2, Elon Musk and SpaceX. Elon Musk's journey with SpaceX is a testament to the power of perseverance and resilience. Despite multiple failed rocket launches and financial challenges, Musk's vision and determination helped him overcome fears and revolutionize the space industry. And he became a billionaire because of it. Dr. Seuss was rejected, I want to say 43 times before Cat in the Hat was finally published. If you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter what other people believe about themselves that they're projecting onto you. If you believe in yourself, in your skills, in your service, then move forward. Continue to put yourself out there. All right, so some journal prompts for you to take home is identify your top 3 fears as a healthcare entrepreneur. What are your top 3 fears? Write them down. Identify them. Make friends with them. And then give yourself evidence. Is this fear coming true? Or am I just projecting in the future? I'm afraid, and so I'm projecting that this fear is going to come true. One of my mentors told me years ago, look at your fears, write them down, and see how many of them actually come true. And 98% of my fears don't come true. I still have to do that exercise every once in a while. Write your fears down. See if you're projecting into the future. See if they come true or not. And see what happens. But likely, fear is just holding you back. It's the action that builds a business, not the feelings. But the feelings motivate the action. So you can do some role playing as well. So, I mean, I do this with my clients sometimes when they're working through fear, they're working on a relationship, they're trying to shift something in their life. And they say they have troubles with boundaries, because a lot of entrepreneurs do have troubles with boundaries. And they have the shiny object syndrome, and they want to please everybody. And that leads them to working with every client that they can get their hands on instead of their ideal client. So doing some role playing is helpful in terms of, what are you mindfully going to say in this situation? How are you going to mindfully respond, as opposed to what are you going to react? Look, what is your fear going to have you say? Yes, 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 I'll work with you, even though you've asked me for a 75% discount. Yes, 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 I'll work with you, even though you can't show up to the sessions. Right? So how are you going to mindfully respond to people, situations, instead of acting out of fear or reaction? Visualize the thing that is freaking you out. So like with public speaking, for example, so what I'm working on is public speaking. So I have a talk in 5 days that I have the draft. I've practiced it a couple of times. I'm going to practice it, no joke, probably 18 more times. My husband is going to listen to my talk. I'm going to record myself doing this talk so that I can make sure that the words are like flowing out of my mouth in a smooth fashion, in an engaging fashion, so I'm not just like staring at the paper the whole time, so that I'm actually engaging with people. So I'm moving through that fear right now. So I'm visualizing, I have this practice where I'm visualizing getting on stage. I'm visualizing getting in front of the microphone. I'm visualizing that the people in the audience want me to succeed. Excuse me. They want me to succeed, rather than everyone's going to reject me. They're going to hate me. They're going to hate my talk. Everyone, I'm going to get booed off the stage. So I'm practicing. I'm going to be going on stage. Everyone is my friend. I'm here to help my friends. How can I help my friends? So visualize what's bothering you and visualize you working through it in the moment. That'll prime you to work through it when it actually happens in the moment. Journal, write down everything that you're afraid of. Write down everything that you have ever been afraid of and see if it's come true. I kind of mentioned that one already. So fear is a part of our human existence. It's part of growing a business. It's no big deal. We all have fear. We just need to, acknowledge it and move forward. So you can get more information from me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I talk about health, wellness, and personal development, so anxiety management. I talk about professional empowerment, including starting a health coaching business. You can find more of those topics by subscribing to my YouTube channel. I also have a Facebook page, Health Transformers Maine, YouTube channels, Health Transformers Maine. You can check me out at healthtransformersmaine.com. Or you can, click one of the links and then get in contact with me from my website. You can email me and we can set up a time to meet. I can do a free consultation call to see where you're at, see where you want to go in terms of how can you use professional development, personal development to move your business forward. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.